Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another daily drop here on TarHeelIllustrated.com. I am THI publisher Andrew Jones, and the topic today, once again, Carolina basketball. We promise you we have football drops coming up. We're now getting back into having a lot of access for spring football through the spring game, which is April 20th. So we got a lot of football-related drops coming to you, and we'll rotate as we move on past spring football into May, into June. We're going to keep the drops rolling, guys. We're going to keep them rolling because there's never really a shortage of things to talk about when it comes to Carolina football, basketball, and recruiting. All right, so as far as basketball goes, this is a little later than I probably normally would have run it, but I ran the Seth Trimble entering the portal drop Wednesday. So today, we're going to hit on Carolina finishing number 7 in the Associated Press final top 25 ranking of the season. It came out, I guess, Tuesday afternoon. Here we are Thursday morning. But so much has been happening that I went ahead and pushed this back a day, which is fine. And I want to read a few numbers that I think some of you, if you are Carolina fans, you will enjoy some of these numbers. First of all, Carolina finished the year at 29-8, 17-3 in the ACC, 2 games ahead of Duke in second place. So they were outright regular season ACC champs. Lost NC State, obviously, in the ACC title game. So NC State is technically the true ACC champion for this season. Carolina earned a number 1 seed. That's another achievement. They have more number 1 seeds than any other program in history. And the Tar Heels got to a Sweet 16, 38th time they've been in the round of 16 in program history. That is the most in college basketball. So this team did a lot of normal North Carolina things. I think it's safe to say that the norm was pretty much restored. There's still some question marks, and we'll see what Hubert Davis is like in year 4. We'll see how he composes the roster coming up for year 4. We'll see who else might leave, who else decides to stay, and all that. But in year 3, in this particular year, this is a pretty normal-looking Carolina basketball season for the most part. Now, there's some elements to the AP Top 25 that I wanted to bring up that I thought was interesting and sort of jumped out at me right away. For example, the schools ranked ahead of Carolina. Obviously, UConn's number 1, no doubt about it. Obviously, Purdue's number 2. A little surprised that Houston was 3, but because of the injury and the fact that Houston was so good throughout the regular season, I understand why the Cougars are 3. Alabama finished 4th. Tennessee 5th. Illinois 6th. Carolina 7th. I'm surprised that Carolina finished behind Illinois and even Tennessee to a degree, especially since they blasted Tennessee and Illinois gave up a 30-0 run to Connecticut in the Elite 8. I don't know. I think that's a little worse than losing to Alabama, the team that they decided to say was number 4, if we're going to get picky about it. Number 8, Iowa State. Number 9, Duke. Number 10, NC State. 17-14. Gosh, not even a month ago. Was it a month ago? 17-14. Yeah, it's 4 weeks ago. In fact, it was 4 weeks ago Tuesday. 17-14. Trailing at halftime to Louisville on Tuesday at the ACC tournament, and now they're number 10 in the nation. Clemson finished 14th, so 4 ACC teams ranked. And I'm going to throw in Kentucky at number 20 because the Tar Heels played the Wildcats as well. So Carolina, Duke, and State in the top 10, finishing in top 10 in the same season for the first time ever. I mean, you can't, no one would have thought that this would have happened at any point in the last 48 months. Just never seemed like NC State was headed that way. Kind of figured Carolina might. Duke, absolutely, given the way things have been. But for all 3 to do that in the same season and happens because of the amazing run that NC State had, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool if you care about ACC basketball. It's pretty cool if you're here in Tobacco Road, if you're in the Triangle. It's pretty cool for a guy like me who, for a while in my career, I had season credentials covering Duke, State, Wake, and Carolina. And there was 1 week in, I think it was 2004 in December, where all 4 of them were ranked in the top 10 in the same week. And I had season credentials covering all of them. So that was a thrill. Now, this is the part I think Carolina fans are really going to like. Tar Heels 4-1 against the Blue Devils and the Wolfpack. So against the number 9 and 10 teams in the final AP poll, Carolina went 4-1. Now the Tar Heels went 5-3 against teams in the final top 10. Lost to Connecticut, lost to Alabama, beat Tennessee, and then the 5 games against Duke and NC State. Now that's 8 games against top 10 teams. Talking not even more than 20%. You're talking about 20. I'm thinking off the top of my head, obviously. Math is not my strength here. About 22, 23%. 23% of Carolina's basketball games this year were against teams in the top 10. Throw in 2 more against Clemson. That, 10 games. 10 of 37 games, more than a quarter of their games were against teams in the top 14. Pretty good, especially when people were dogging the league. When you throw in a game against Alabama, against Kentucky, Carolina went 6-5 against teams ranked in the final top 20 of the AP poll, 4-1 against State and Duke, 5-3 against teams in the top 10. Then throw in the 1-1, the split with Clemson and the loss to Kentucky that makes the Tar Heels 6-5 against teams in the top 20 because Kentucky was 20th in the final poll here. I think that 7th is a good spot for UNC. I personally would have put the Tar Heels ahead of Illinois and Tennessee. Should have been maybe number 5. I know that was not a great showing in the Sweet 16, but they lost by 2 points to a team they put at number 4. They lost by 2 points on a night. Their best player went 0 for 9 from 3. And they were right there to win. I think they showed how good they were when they didn't play well. There was some questionable coaching in the second half, some decisions that Hubert made, and yet the Tar Heels were still right there. I think they showed how good they were. Nobody blew them out. They lost once by double digits. That was UConn back in early December. And UConn blitzed everybody, especially when the games mattered most. So I think Carolina's 7 is probably a little low. It doesn't really matter in the end, but I figured since we're going to have this conversation, I think 5 would make sense. I would have put them at 5. If you want to put Tennessee in front of them, they pounded Tennessee. If you want to put Illinois in front of them, and that 30-0 run jumps out. Nobody did 30-0 on Carolina. Nobody came close to that. And I know it's UConn, but UConn didn't do it. They didn't do 30-0 on anybody else. But they did it against Illinois in a regional final. And Illinois had its parts. So I would probably go with Carolina at number 5. State at number 10 is fascinating. A lot of weight put into the last month. I don't know. That's kind of, I think it's cool. I think it's good for the league. The league says, hey, we had 3 top 10 teams in the final ranking and you guys were dumping all over. So for that and to pick on some of the national dudes who all adopted the same narrative about the ACC and held on to it like their lives depended on it. Yeah, I'll take 3 in the top 10. I think that's kind of cool, and it throws a little mud in their face. If you think Carolina should be higher in the final AP poll, if you think 7's too low, go ahead and click like on this video and let us know where you think they should be. Should they be 5th? Should they be 6th? Are they right where they should be? Would you have rated them lower, behind Iowa State? I don't think anybody would put them behind Duke or State simply because they went 2-0 against Duke, 2-1 against State. Beat both of them in their buildings. They beat Clemson in their building, by the way. So they have 3 wins on the road, true road games against top 14 teams. That's another reason why I would put them ahead of Illinois and put them ahead of Tennessee for sure. So I think number 5. You let me know what you guys think, where they should end up. If you're upset that they're number 7 and think they should be higher, please click like. If you like the fact they're number 7, you're cool with that, go ahead and click like as well. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification bell so you get updates every time we upload a video. And make sure you guys go on over to TarHeelIllustrated.com, just $8.33 a month for a 1-year sub, and you can have all kinds of information that you never dreamed you'd have access to, but you will for just $8.33 a month and becoming a member of our community. And also, let your Carolina friends know we're here. Not everybody knows that our channel is here. Not everybody knows that our site is out there. So let them know. The more we grow, the more we bring you, the better we are, the more you enjoy our content. I'm AJ. I'll see you tomorrow.